John Maher breaking off in frame number 1. And from evidence, by the way, I'd have put forward Kate Wringe. Her 2 breaks tonight have been the best by far of any player.
Well,
the
last break was the best break we might see in the whole competition. I mean, this is brilliant as well, by the way, but the layout isn't as good. Only marginally. I mean, the layout's still okay, but balls flying in everywhere. I think all the yellows go. I think the yellow does go right centre. I think the yellows are all good here. Little bounce. Well, not going to get close to the next ball if that's absolutely straight, but do you need to? Probably not. Yeah, just working me out. Because they're too straight here, they can only stay low. So when they take the one to right centre, you just saw John just pointing at the yellow and said the cue ball's going to go into the red. That's why he wants to leave the other yellow down the table to have a ball to be on. But Maher also on the one to left centre. I'm pretty sure the 14 passes the 8 ball, which makes things even easier. The only problem with just leaving it a touch low is the cue ball's either going into the 8 ball or if it's missing the 8 ball, it's running away on a slightly bad line. Another couple of rolls across the table and it would have made it a little easier, but should still be no problem. Two more rolls across the table on the previous one. This would have been dead straight into the corner. That's the difference.
Scotch frame's been so big all the way through tonight. And that is mustard from Kate Wringe. Great 8 ball. And that could be a big moment in this match, if anything is to go by from what we've seen so far tonight. And that was a lovely, lovely finish. And I think the first time we've had a break and run in the opening Scotch frame.
Yeah, it certainly is. That was very nicely done. Good break, very good break, balls flying in everywhere, and then just find your route. And they did that really well. Worked it out, considered options, and made it simple.
Jake Cooper has given those an almighty thwack. He lost the cue ball entirely, but so much power he has swung through that he still made balls, despite that being probably what I'd describe as a complete mishit.
It was definitely a complete mishit, but he has got a lot of power out there, so he's utilising it. He certainly jumped and gave that everything he had.
He'll feel sick about that. It was a slightly tricky plan. It wasn't set. And Kate Wringe is going to be the player who takes reds.
Yeah, only ball that needs a little bit of attention is going to be the one above the 8 ball. Where's that going? Missed opportunity for me. Once you play the plant, then take the one over the top right and use the one to right centre, which you'd then have given yourself plenty of angle to come down and just play the developing shot whilst you had a ball, the one that you just played over the pocket there. Give yourself every chance to be on a ball. Leaving that one up over the top right does you no favours whatsoever. So that's a good lead at first glance.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent attempt at an aggressive shot, but it's quite brilliant safety. And if that was played as a two-way shot, which I think it might have been, the way that John tapped his knee, they might have talked about it before they played it. It's a brilliant bit of play.
Absolutely. And I'm going to get an opportunity because of it. I'm with you. If that was the plan, to leave the cue ball and everything was in the favour of that, leaving nothing on the yellows, because everything on the yellows is on one side of the table. It was guarded. That was excellent.
But also, you're talking a millimetre here or there. If the red ball ends up going into the middle pocket, you're on your next ball. It was a really canny little shot that was played there by Kate.
Must have been a decent shot from Jake. First glance, I thought he'd left that dead set in the left centre. Just got it far enough across to at least put some jeopardy on it. So now it just comes down to this red over the top left. Sorry, top right. How are you going to clear it? Could back yourself to make the combination shot, but it red's in the side of the pocket. The straight on where you make both in the same pocket. Perfect on that. Well, I'd say actually a roll past perfect, because you want the cue ball going to the left-hand side, and I think it's fairly straight. But just make the combination, you should then make the clearance. Even if you have to come back down the table to go back up, just back yourself to make it. Touch short. Made both, which was the important part of that, but just a touch short. Because of the angle he had there, he tried to top on and off the top cushion to get to this yellow at the top, obviously. I might have been tempted just to play on one of the two down the table and then work my way back up, just because you're getting quite tight to your work. But it doesn't matter when you play a shot like that. That was excellent.
I mean, that's a hell of a recovery.
This is going to be a brilliant visit to the table for Jake.
He couldn't pick the ball up with his hand and play that better. Beautiful work from Jake Cooper. Fist bump with Sammy Hogg, and well, we're level after two pretty high quality frames as well.
Yeah, it's a bit more like it. Jake hasn't really showcased his level tonight, but showed a bit there. It was very, very good. Slightly harder to execute that combination shot when you load it up with topspin. It makes your margin of error a little bit smaller, but did execute it nicely. Left the next one. The next one was actually probably every bit as good as well. The very, very thin clip, and control the pace of the cue ball to land plumb perfect when it's travelled, what, 12, 13 foot across the table is excellent as well.
And the belting John Maher break. But he's going to be dry. He must be wondering what he has to do, because he's broken so powerfully and all the rest of it tonight, but he's not had many friends out there.
No, that was his best control as well, I think. Not as good a layout as the split he left in the Scotch frame, though. Sammy won't entertain taking these on, nor should she. If you can play red off red, and it's difficult to tell if the red near the right centre allows you to play that, but if that shot's on, then these reds are doable. You'd be moving the red down the cushion, which then gives you the opportunity to connect to the other red near bottom right that's awkward, and you've got the angle then to develop the two at the top of the table next shot. So it's very doable. Didn't bother playing it off the ball, so maybe he just feels he can get to it naturally and not worry about it. Doesn't look like the potting angle's available.
So far, so good. And now we get to the nitty-gritty. He's taken the balls out nicely so far, but there's some big questions over this visit, and they all start to begin to be asked now.
Yeah, I think he must have a clear plan for it, because I do think he had a way to deal with it earlier on. Well, he's on the one. The ball near the right centre goes top right, I think. He's not happy. Why is he not happy? Surely.
I think he's flicked the yellow to block the path of the red.
Oh, of course.
Left.
It flicked the yellow. I was thinking he's landed on it, but now that red doesn't go. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a major problem.
Huge.
He's going to hope to squeeze this into the middle and reroute around the cushions.
I think he has to take it long, doesn't he?
He may do. He did. And misses. Opening for Sammy Hogg. And a decent opening as well. It's a great chance. And it's one she will absolutely fancy getting.
Missed a trick for me. If you play red off red on that first shot, that red comes down the cushion by, what, a foot and a half. Not hitting it firm, you're just nudging it down the cushion. That becomes your connector to the other bad ball, and you still leave the same top end of the table that you had anyway. The difference between making it off the ball and not wasn't going to affect your positional side at the top of the table. It would have made life easier, but that's a disappointing shot from Sammy.
Can only assume that was a bit of shot clock panic there as the beep sounded. The back arm just got a little bit wobbly. The fortune for her is she's not really left much. Looks like is it a treble he's looking at? Or is it the double?
I think it's the double, but it's tight. You have to go close to the yellow to make the double. Time to pop these in. They're all there. Nicely. Not sure if she was playing for the yellow. She's in her two to bottom left or bottom right. Finished on the 50-yard line. He's on the one to top left though. Tricky little cut back from here, and cue ball's running a touch loose. That's fine. On the yellow to right centre. The one she just nudged, though, still remains the problem ball in a strange way, even though it's massively in the open. Just guarded enough that that's still the ball you've got to get to.
At long last, she'll finally feel like she had the comfort to be in A1 position, but that now is very much 50-50 position. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, tried to hold it, I think, rather than actually. I think the natural line was missing the red, so you could just drift it down, bottom cushion, back up, or you play the little nippy soft screw shot and not even reach the cushion. Just left herself really, really awkward here. Such a big shot, this next one.
Jake's popped up for a little bit of 𝗟𝗓𝗍.
Well, the cut's not in off. If you make the cut, you're not going in off, so make the cut and land in space. Yeah, that'll do.
And it falls. And now how's your 8-ball?
She won't call Jake in for this one.
No. Out the frying pan into the fire. Brilliant yellow. This for the frame. They are going to get away with one. John Maher is going to get away with one. So on the shot to left centre, that's where it's gone wrong there for Savanah Hogg. You can't really be too critical of the cut that she's then played, which was really well played, and the 8 ball she's missed. You've got to really look at the yellow to left centre there in the position of the cue ball, because at that point she was in such good position, and she's just played a shot that's left her really in between everything.
Well, I would go even further. I agree with you. From where she was, that was absolutely lovely, and you just got to get that control right, and you're on that ball. But if she plays the first shot with a bit more positivity rather than just dropping it in, she then leaves a thin angle on the next one, which is drifting across the line. So if she plays the first one a bit more positively, leaves a better angle on the second one to then land on that awkward ball. Even though it wasn't awkward, it was the awkward ball. None of that problems come. None of the issues come towards the end if you deal with that early with some positive striking. And it sort of just sends you down that sort of path that she went down.
John Maher was never missing that 8 ball. A 2-1 lead for he and Kate. It's all smiles. They're in a good position now. Always want to be leading at this stage of the match. It's always so tough to chase when you're into the 15-second shot clock, which gives you hope, of course, because the frames go quicker and all the rest of it, but it's always so much more comfortable when you lead. And if you ever wanted evidence of that, just look at the facial expressions of the two partnerships.
Yeah, of course. Also worth mentioning at this stage, Jade and Savanah are through if this match finishes as a draw, which they will be very happy to see, and that's a very real possibility with 4 minutes left. If Sammy and Jake win this one and they have the break, they might do. No, 8 ball's not going to track. Sammy didn't want to play. She was just going to leave Jake to it. It is the Scotch frame. If it's touching the yellow, you've got to nominate. Which, of course, Jake would know as a qualified IRO referee. I don't know whether that was touching ball or not, but I was just wondering whether a referee would make a mistake like that. That was all a bit rushed from Jake. Just debating when to play the loss of turn. Every second that ticks down to their advantage. If they play the loss of turn and they don't get the pocket, as in they leave it open, they could be in trouble. They do get the pocket. Excellent decision making and execution.
That 15-second shot clock really is sharp.
And now you could just go ahead and win the frame here if you want to. There's no major advantage for playing safe. You've got low numbers out there. Yeah, nicely done. Don't get yourself too far down the table here. You want to leave plenty of angle. No good. I was thinking just punch it in and leave the high angle on the yellow, drop it in bottom left as we look. Tried to get perfect on it. It's gone wrong, so could cost them the frame here. Not on the 8 ball. I tell you what, this draw is looking a huge chance right now.
And now remember, if that happens, Jaden Billingham and Savanah Lowe would be through without even having to cue a ball in their next match. They are safe, whatever happens. Jake Cooper and Savanah Hogg here are in for 2-2, and they've got 1 minute and 5 seconds to do it, and Sammy's got her skates on.
Why did Jake not put them on the hardest ball on the table with ball in hand? I mean, I don't think it's going to cost them, but this was the ball they should have played with ball in hand. And they shouldn't have left this one till last either. Again, I don't think it's going to matter.
They've flown through them. They might fancy winning it. It is Maher and Wringe's break next. Oh, you're joking! The 8-ball hangs, and John Maher and Kate Wringe get away with it. Oh, Sammy Hogg can't watch. I can't blame it. John Maher rolls in the 8-ball for 3-1 with 10 seconds left and the break to come. Oh, that will be heartbreaking for Sammy.
That was a tough 8-ball. And I know I sit here most weeks and I'm critical of patterns and decision-making, and they think they've conceded here. We'll come back to it. Yeah,
it looks like it. We'll come back to that in just a second. There was the missed 8-ball, but Simon Webber wants to dissect the route from there. We'll maybe take a look at that when we return. And don't forget, we've still got Savanah Lowe and Jaden Billingham, who will now need a result to stop these two from forcing them to a 6-round shootout. Stay with us.